Hey guys, it's Tim coming at you with an all-new Deadpool related video for this week. As more set photos and trailers drop for the upcoming Deadpool sequel, we've been given a better look at what we'll be seeing in the film. One of those things seems to be an organization meant to track down and capture mutants known as the Mutant Response Division, or MRD, or Marty's if you happen to be Wolverine. You can see what appears to be them in set photos, but most prominently in the most recent trailer, they appear to be fighting Cable in the future. But who are the MRD? Like X-23 from Fox's hit film Logan from last year, the MRD were actually invented for an X-Men animated series. In this case, 2009's Wolverine and the X-Men, where they were a government-sanctioned paramilitary force whose main goal was tracking down and containing mutants that were deemed dangerous. Which, if you know X-Men lore, is basically all of them. In this incarnation, they were sponsored by Senator Robert Kelly and funded by Warren Worthington Jr., the father of Angel. The organization was led by a man named Colonel Moss, with Dr. Boulevard Trask and Civil Zane working on their Sentinel program. This group later made its way into the comics, first being alluded to in the pages of the Wolverine-led X-Force book, but showing up in full in the Investigation-era X-Factor title. Here, the Sapien League, one of the many human supremacist groups in the Marvel Universe, under the control of the Leper Queen, who herself was being led by X-Men villain Bastion, captured and injected several mutants with a modified legacy virus which caused them to lose control of their powers, go berserk, and ultimately die as a result. This was meant as a ploy to convince the government that mutants were a threat, which would allow their pitch for the Mutant Response Division to go through. This pitch was done by Boulevard Trask and Stephen Lang, and it worked, with the MRD being created under the leadership of Bastion. But how does this connect to their appearance in Deadpool? Well, luckily both incarnations of this group are heavily involved with a dark future and time travel elements. Considering that we see them fighting Cable in what appears to be his future, this seems to help us find the connection. In the Wolverine and the X-Men version, Professor X is put into a coma and wakes up in a world destroyed similar to Days of Future Past, where he sends messages back to the past in order to prevent this from happening. The MRD are heavily involved in these events, especially with their Sentinel program. The comic version are led by Bastion, a reincarnated human version of the Super Sentinel Nimrod, who's from the Days of Future Past timeline. Granted, both versions are connected to the Days of Future Past, which isn't Cable's dark future, but considering the animated and film versions of Days of Future Past include Bishop, who's also from a different future, I think we can give it a pass. Based on this, it could again be the MRD which led to Cable's messed up timeline, which could very well be the film version of Days of Future Past. And he goes back in time to try to stop them like Xavier from the animated series. Now, neither Bastion nor Nimrod have been confirmed for Deadpool 2, but if the MRD are showing up, they would fit in the film pretty well. And really, think of the fun they would have with a character named Nimrod. I mean, one of the big recurring jokes of the first film was making fun of the name Francis. And that's who the MRD are and a role that they could play in the film, but what do you guys think? What role do you think the MRD will be playing in Deadpool 2? Well, as always, let us know down in the comments, but until next time, this has been Tim from the Hybrid Network, signing out. Hey guys, thanks for watching, but if you want to take your support to the next level, consider subscribing to us and clicking that bell next to it so you can be immediately informed whenever a new video goes up. Also check out our website for the latest news and editorials, and if you want to take your support even further, you can always consider donating to us on Patreon to help our videos get better.